with a cold, and Martin Mishers in Manchester.
Well, tell me about the boat, man.
A cattle boat.
Yeah.
How did you come over here then?
And a cattle boat. The cows was mooing out through him. I was sitting on the cases on top of the poor kids. And I always remember what she said when I landed in Manchester. He said it was the most sorrowful sight he ever seen in his life when he see the state of the three of us.
When did you come over here then?
Oh, 1940, wait a minute, 1946, 46.
Just after war?
I came over here 2 months after VG Day, something like that. I think I was 56. I remember we were celebrating on the Strand Road in Derry. We did all night to morning, the celebration, when the war finished. And I had got my passport. You know that I'm out of Derry. I was ready to go to jail.
Why did you come over?
Well, I was working in Northern Ireland and they wouldn't give me a permit to work because I came from Ada. You couldn't get a works permit in the north. So that's the one reason. And I didn't leave when they told me to leave. I thought I could have kept on working, but they caught me. So they were fining me for that. They took me to court. And I got the police told me to get a passport. They said, if you're waiting for your passport, you have a good excuse for not leaving. So I waited, and anyway, I had to go to court. I told them I was waiting for my passport, but I came that morning, so I had it with me. And he said it wasn't for you told by the court to leave, you should have left. And they said, well, I thought it'd be breaking the law if I left. They got right nasty with me. So he said, well, you had no right to stay. And then he said, well, I said, excuse me, he said, I said, are you Irish? He said, I am not. Pig he was. And I said, well, you're not Irish. St. Patrick wasn't Irish. But I am. And don't either of you two tell me to get out of my country. He said, £2 for contempt of court. I've never paid it. It could be crap. And if his big mouth secretary hadn't said as I was leaving the court, what about the money, my lord? I thought, oh, yeah. I said, I have no money.
What was it like when you first came over here? What were the conditions like?
Well, there was work. I got a job in a laundry. But oddly enough, if I'd been maybe a year before that, I would have found it very, very hard. Because Dominic's sisters told me when they arrived in Bolton, there was a sign up over here at the station, or any place there was a job. There'd be a sign in a window in a pub, vacancies. Irish need not apply. That was on most things. So, but they got into this pub, which was the White Horse, here at the traffic lights at Fletcher Street. And there were a lovely couple that had it, and they were very good to them. They got a job there. And I got into the laundry. But nobody ever said anything to me. The people of Bolton were lovely. It was just people who wanted to put notices up here and everywhere else. We just ignored them. It was the only thing to do. I was living with a lady that she was on her own. She worked at the laundry. And they asked at the laundry, I said, was there any place I could stay? And they said they would find out for me. And they were around the laundry and asked, and she said, well, I'm on my own and I'd love to have company. So I came over and stayed with her. She was a terribly nice lady. She wasn't well either. I was able to help her a lot of ways. I stayed with her until just before I got married.
Did you marry a local lad, or
No,
did you marry an Irish lad?
Irish, from Galway. Yeah.
And what did he do?
He's a miner.
What did you do after you married? Did you work while you had children, or did you wait till they grew up?
No, I worked until Anne Martin, but he was born the next year after I was married. And I was working at Woolworths then. I'd left the laundry. left the laundry just before I got married. I was working in Woolworths. It was quite nice there too.
Were they good company then to work for?
Well, I found they were great. They looked after the staff, and they were very, very good. I should have started to work in Woolworths on Monday. After I got the job, I was interviewed and they gave me the job. And it was a month before I started because I wanted to be noticed at the laundry. And I couldn't start on a Monday. I got a letter to come in on a Tuesday because it was a bank holiday. So I did what I was told. But when I got paid, they paid me for Monday, and I went and told them, and they said, no, you were willing to work, but we couldn't, we were closed. And they paid me for that day, and I was, very first day I worked, I got paid for it for nothing. It didn't work. They were good at Woolworths. But all the people, even in the mills, I would work in Bantona Mill on evenings, because I lived back to back with it here in Rothwell Street, and they were very good in the mill. The people you work with in the mill, they were a different crowd of people altogether. They were friendly, they were poor, they would give anything to each other, divide anything. They were, you know, really nice.
Were there mostly women working there?
Yeah, mostly women. The men all had to go in the pit or something like that. The women was, the women in the mills. And I left Bantona, and then I had went to Swan Lane Spinning Company. And I worked there a good while. But they had a nursery, so it was ideal. I didn't want to leave my children, it was great. And then that closed down. And I was working for a Great Labour Spinning Company on Settle Street. And that closed down. I had enough there in the mill. Well, not in the mill, I would have stopped it if I would have left it. And a friend of mine, my best friend, she said, she told me one day that she was working in the hospital as a nurse in auxiliary, and she loved it. And I said, she's why did you try there? And I did, and they gave me the job. But then they talked me into doing my training. So after I was there, I did 2 years, and they gave me no peace. Why did you? They brought the application form to me. I was on ice, sign these. So I did it for a bit of peace. I didn't think I would have done it, but I did. But it was nice at the hospital.
How long did you work there for as a nurse?
Till I retired. I retired at 56 because I had a fall in the hospital. The floor was wet, and a patient got up that shouldn't have moved. You know, on the mop, they put signs up, but the patient didn't know. He was ready for going home and he'd forgotten, and he was going into the bathroom. So he got up, and as he started, he was going back. I could see him. He was sliding, and I was sat on the bed. I was doing the blood pressures, but I was going to walk, and it was wet. And when he got up, as I watched him set off, I went flying after him, fell, got him underneath the arms, and he fell on top of me, and I cracked my head on the bed. So they took me to the Bolton Royal. I was knocked out. But I'd had my neck stretched for 13 weeks. And that's the only time I slept in that 13 weeks was when they do it. Every time they put the thing on me and switched it on to fall asleep. And then they switched it off and let me have a sleep. Because they knew I was getting no rest at all. I was just sleeping in the physiotherapy. In the room. That kept me going.
So would you say then, Mary, that your transition from Ireland over here was a smooth one, or did you get a lot of hiccups along the way?
No, I was very lucky. Yeah. I was very lucky. I would think if I had been here about 2 years before that, it was very rough. The time Dominic's sisters came, that was rough.
Do you still have a lot of contact with Ireland?
Oh yeah. I've gone every year since the day came. I went to Ireland and 2 and 3 times a year. I brought me 6 weeks holidays. Bolton holidays we took, my husband and I took the kids away. We booked a holiday. And then they came back for 2 weeks, and then they went off for 6. Well, that's 6 weeks I took them to Ireland myself. I always took that time. I used to ask for no problem. You can go, Mina. I took them time out with the kids. That's why they love going over.
Can you tell us a little bit about your schooling now, Tony? I mean, and as an Irish person that had just come over to Bolton, I mean, was there any prejudice or how you were treated as a young Irish person?
No, I wouldn't say there was any prejudice at all, apart from the accent, obviously. There was a couple of lads who lived in the same block as us on Grecian Street called the Lee Brothers, and I got on very well with them. They actually became very close friends. When I went to school, as soon as I had to go to school, it was at St Peter and Paul's, which was run by nuns, which was no different to what it was in Ireland, because the schooling in Ireland was very similar. It was priests and nuns there. I can't remember if there was any harsh treatment. All I can say it was strict. And me coming over from Ireland, I was well behind the people, the lads of the same age group. I was well behind, so I had to do a lot of catching up, which I actually did. I managed to catch up, because you used to have lads that were reading papers and I couldn't read the book, Janet and John or whatever it was at the time. So I actually did catch up, and I actually surpassed some of the boys and girls that were there, because it was a need to do thing. From there, I can say we lived there for a couple of years, and then we moved away. We moved up to Breakneck, to a house which I was more used to, that actually had an indoor toilet, 3 bedrooms, garden front and back, which was what I was used to. School up there, that was St Patrick's, a Roman Catholic school, which was close by. That was a pretty modern school, because I think it had been built just for a few years before I actually moved up there, so it was a brand new school. I went there, Bill went there, Martin went there, Chris went there, well, all the family went there. From there, St Anne's Roman Catholic School. Martin, he went to there for a while, and then he went to Cuthbert, a school called St Cuthbert's, which is no longer there anymore. As far as the schooling is concerned, I think that's basically it, the schools we went to.
When I came over, then we were in this little one room in Devonport Street, and we used to go out every Sunday, looking at every empty house and knocking on the door and see who owned it and try and get it. So,
How hard were it to get accommodation in them days?
terrible.
Because they didn't have much thingy for Irish then, did they, Mum?
They didn't.
I don't think you can put that on there
Yeah,
a lot, but
no.
there was a notice on the door, I remember, hearing it somewhere, and it said, no blacks,
No Irish.
no Irish,
No
and
Irish.
no dogs.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, quite common.
But she was
Yeah.
a lovely woman, Mrs.
Yeah, she
Gilroy,
was.
but it was very hard on me with 2 kids and a new baby.
In one
So, a friend of Martin's got this house in Idle Street, Idle. And we went after it, and I went to the agent, and he said, I couldn't possibly do that, Mrs. O'Gorman, she's filthy. 'Tis terrible, he said. 'Twas an old woman was living in it, and 'tis filthy. I said, I don't care what it is, I'll clean it. He said, can you wait and if I get you a better one? I said, no. I said, if I have a garage and it's my own door, with 3 children, I said, I'd be satisfied. So I got to this little house anyway, and when I went, there was a range and a fire, and the such and dashes was high up like that. Anyway, I set to it and we cleaned it up. He was on nights, Martin, and he'd done a bit. You couldn't get paper or paint or hardly or nothing in the wall. So he managed to do the walls, paint them green, and we done it anyway and cleaned it up.
How did you get your furniture from Devonport
So
Street?
when I was moving, you couldn't get a van or nothing, so I had a big pram, and I brought all the beds they were letting over it, beds and all, through Newport Street.
On a
7 times I done that round that day. He had to mind the child there, and me and poor Martin, he was holding the spring of the bed, and I had to go and bring it it down in the big pram, and I was black as the ace of spades.
Yeah.
But it was worth it all in the end, because when you had to have tokens then for furniture, and I got a sideboard, a table and 4 chairs and two what you call them chairs, them 2 little armchairs
Chairs, yeah.
for me, for it. And he worked in the pitch, so we had plenty of coal, beautiful coal fire, and it was lovely. You could get nothing for the floor, but I got some green felt and put it on the floor. It was like Irish green. So when the rent man came, he knocked on the door and he said, "I'm sorry, you made a mistake." So he went and he came back in next door and they said, "No, she's moved in, Mr. Guy." I mean, "I can't believe it," he says. "I don't believe it," he says. "You won't see me for 6 weeks." He gave us 6 weeks free rent. 12 months after, I got a letter from the town hall to go for a house. So I goes down and I told him in the committee, "You have to go before a committee then." And I said, "I'm all right in this little house now," I says. "Give it to someone who was the same as me. And I'm all right for a while." So they said, "Well, that's very good of you."
Yeah, so she stayed in now.
So I stayed in it. So 12 months after that again, I got another for this house. So I said to him, "I'm not leaving my little house." No, he says, "We've 4 children," because Anne was born. She was 6 months. "We've 4 children now," he says, "and we'll have to move." So we came up here. And when we came up here, there was no school or nothing, no pets, no nothing. And the cows used to come to the windows and the back door here. And when I came up, and had no curtains to fit on the windows because it was only a little house.
But as a few years went by, I found that there was a demand in the town for something more Irish than what we had.